The emerging markets most embattled by a slump in global growth are enjoying a modest rally. That's thanks to the fading fears for China's economy and a change of heart by the Federal Reserve as well. We're now not expecting the 4 further rates. It's all feeding into this rally. But despite these two big positives, currency competitiveness remains. And today I'm joined by Leroy Lawrence from Quadron Capital to talk about this. Leroy, they've had a terrible time of it, the emerging markets.
Very much so.
So better days to come, is that what we can hope for?
Sure, I mean, I think we're taking a breath at the moment. Since 2013, there's been lots of negative movement on the emerging markets, different reasons, political reasons for sanctions in Russia, too much importing into China as well, and manufacturing beginning to take a turn. But we've seen a rally, a very strong rally for this whole quarter effectively since the beginning of the year. A rally that a lot of people consider will continue to go. However, we've taken, from a technical point of view, we've taken a negative movement now. How far will now fall from its recent highs, we're yet to see. I personally think we're taking a breath. I think the rally will continue in due course, but maybe not for another month or so, just from a technical point of view. So I think we are taking a breather right now, but there are lots and lots of factors to think about.
Okay, so when we talk about emerging markets, we're obviously talking about a lot of countries here, but what are the main ones, do you think, that we should be looking at, and the main currencies? So you mentioned Russia, so the ruble, right there.
So with the MSCI ETF, we look at the world index for it. The main countries you look at are, of course, the ruble, Russia, China, Brazil, BRIC nations in general, and also now looking at Turkey, because lots of things happening over that side as well. The oil prices are what's really affecting the Russian ruble at the moment. Since I was last here, it has moved up to around $50 again. If it does fall off over the next quarter, which is very likely still around 30, we'll see another negative movement with the ruble, I would expect. In China, they've been stabilizing. So where there were fears before that China was just completely overbought and that that emerging market couldn't continue to move at the same rate, it may not move at the same rate upwards, but however there will still be growth, and after this breath that we take, we will see more growth in that era. And with the lira in Turkey, I think we'll see the strongest growth in the lira. They've just, 2 months to go now before they sign off on the free movement around Europe, in the Schengen area that is, which will give much more business opportunities for people to have a 90-day window of visa-free travel around most of Europe is a very good thing for Turkey. And also they've got the exchange on the immigrant crisis with the EU as well, which is maybe the first time that Turkey's had one up on Europe at the moment. They've already threatened to pull out from that agreement if the Schengen free movement agreement isn't settled within the next 2 months. So they're in a much stronger position than before. They've got less to worry about as far as things going wrong with oil prices and that kind of thing. And I expect we will see a stronger Turkish lira moving forward for the next year or so.
Okay, so exciting times for Turkey, very much so, because as you say, they've got this deal going on and you've got economics and politics at play here. What about other emerging markets then? What should we look out for? What are maybe the sweet spots?
Malaysia is also another good economy to look at. Lots of growth there. It is, like Russia, pegged a little bit to the oil market, maybe not quite so much, and it doesn't have the sanctions to worry about. So if you're looking for an oil-pegged emerging market that has a lot of growth, I'll say Malaysia over in the Far East is also a very good one to look at.
Okay, nice stuff, Leroy. Thank you for the advice there. And I think either way, when you're investing in an emerging market currency, you've got to be able to prepare yourself for risk. That's the main thing. All right, thank you indeed for your time today. That is Leroy Lawrence talking to us today from Quadron Capital about the emerging markets and the resurgence that they've been experiencing.